So I've been asked by some of the agents, the obviously to go in, they're going to build the listing in the MLS. The question I got asked just to help me have the answer is how do they access the portal to Zillow Showcase?
That's a great question. I'm just going to copy and paste these steps right now for them to be able to log in. They've been invited. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. These are the steps that they're going to use to log into that portal and sort of showcase. So if you want to copy that so you can send it out and disseminate it to them, that should take them straight through so that they can get into the workspace, get logged in, get their account set up, and then be able to start adding listings.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Let me step in here for a
Hi,
second, though. Hold on 1 second, Bailey. Let me step in here for a second. The key to this is if you notice step 3 of what Nate put in the chat box is enter the email address on file with the brokerage. So if whatever email address we have for you, use that one. Because if you're just like, oh, I'll just create a separate email or, or whatever it may be, it's not going to connect. Okay. So I'm glad Alex brought this up. So make sure that you're entering the email address that's on file with the brokerage. If you're not sure what email address is on file with the brokerage, send an email to admin@century21masters.com and just say, hey, can you please verify the email address you have with the that you have for me on here, and we will make sure that we'll tell you that. Go ahead, Bailey.
Yes. Sorry, unfortunately, I missed on the 2 day training, and I really want to join the showcase. So my question is, how soon I can join the showcase, and then do they have the maximum I have to pay? Because right now I have 3 listings. So I heard that each listing is a cost about $200 per month.
Right.
And do they have
No,
like maximum, like I have to pay like 700, 1,000, maximum something like that?
great question. So our discount, anyone can use Zillow Showcase now, but if you want the Century 21 Masters discount, that starts November 17th. Okay,
Okay,
so
that's
on
good.
November 17th, you can use the discount. It's $200 per listing for the life of the listing. Meaning that if you have a listing that stays on the market for 100 days, it's on showcase for 100 days. So you don't have to renew it each month. It's for the life of the listing. If the listing goes into escrow and then cancels and goes back active, it goes back to showcase. It's
Good.
only if the listing cancels or expires, if you then try to relist it and it has a different MLS number, then you would have to use showcase again. Okay, but it's for the life, so it's essentially for the life of listing. $200 covers your life's listing, and there's no minimum or maximum. So if Bailey, someone like you and your team, I mean, typically have a lot of listings. If you want to do it for all of them, you could do it for all of them. There's no maximum on it. And then for those of you that are like, well, can I pick and choose which listings? Yes, there's no minimum. You can do it on one or however many you want, and it's $200 for each one.
So I guess we bought
Okay.
1,000 credits, you guys said.
We bought, as a company, we bought, yes, 1,000 credits for that $200. I would assume that once we go through that 1,000 credits, we'll get with the Zillow team again and purchase more. So I'm not concerned about that. But yeah, we have 1,000 credits that we have to use by almost the end of next year. So we have 1 year essentially for those 1,000 credits. But that's why there's no maximum. It's like, 1,000's a lot. And
I know, I'm pretty
know,
sure we're going to blow through them with all the agents and the listings.
well, you would think, I mean, we have over 1,000 active listings at the company right now. But you also have to remember that you can't do land. And because of where some of our offices are located, we do have a decent number of land listings. You can't do commercial. So there are some parameters, and we actually have this kind of debate going on within our sales leadership team, because some of our sales leaders are like, we're going to go through those 1,000 by the end of the year. And I'm going, not a shot in hell. So I hope we do. I look at, to me, I think this is a great tool. But yeah, but anyway, so for all intent purposes, there's no minimum, no maximum. Use it for as much as you want.
So for each property is 1 point of credit, or
Each, yes, each. So we have 1,000 listings.
it'll be 1,000 times you can use this?
Yes, yes,
Okay. And then
yes.
the
So
pricing.
we're. I want everyone to know, okay? Because this also got questioned on Thursday. That's a lot of listings. Okay, we are, so I don't want anyone to panic about like, oh, well, what happens afterwards or anything like that. Don't worry about it. 1,000 is a lot. Okay, it is going to take us a while to go through those 1,000 credits. And at the end, well, those 1,000, we're not going to just be like, all right, thanks, Zillow, appreciate you, Nate, Sarah, it's been real. Like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, this is a long-term partnership we're building with them. So we will get more. Don't worry about it.
And the total price is $245 with photographer total.
No, $200. I'm sorry, Nate, Sarah, I'm kind of just running right now. $200 for Zillow Showcase. So just for the Zillow Showcase is $200. If you want to use the Zillow Media Experts, which are the photographer, see, I paid attention. I even had the words right. Which is the photography, the Zillow 3D tour, and the virtual tour. If you want to use their preferred group, that's another $245. So then your total would be $445 for the Zillow Showcase and the photography. If you don't want to use their photographers, that's fine. You can still use your own. Then all you pay is the $200 for the Zillow Showcase, and then you pay whatever you normally pay your photographer.
Can I clarify a little bit? Remember earlier you said that if the listing expire or cancel and then you relist it, do I have to pay again, or for the same property?
So technically, if you relist it and it has the same MLS number, you don't. But I am going to get everyone on this mindset. Yes, you do. Okay? Because if you cancel it or expire, I don't want to get calls going, well, we canceled it because of this. Now I want to relist it. It's a different MLS number. Can you help me out? No. Okay. If you cancel or expire, go in with the mentality that if you want to relist it, you're going to have to pay again. Technically, if it's the same MLS number, it'll still be showcased, but I want you to go in with the mentality you're going to have to do it again, so it saves the confusion later.
Okay,
and
that's
just
very clear.
to dovetail on that, I know sometimes the strategy is to pull a listing off the market and then put it back on to kind of help reset it and get re-engagement with it. So doing that will keep the same MLS number, and so it will stay showcased. It's only if you have a new MLS number, just to kind of clarify with that, what Robert was saying.
Okay, what if I already have account with Zillow? So I already have account with Zillow. So right now I have to create another Zillow workplace.
If you already have your Zillow profile, that's fine. You still need to go in and make sure you have your showcase profile set up. That is separate than your Zillow profile. And inside there, and I spoke about this in the trainings yesterday and Tuesday, then you will connect your Zillow profile, and that will pull your reviews over to your showcase profile, but you'll still need to set up your bio inside of your showcase profile as well, even if you already have a Zillow profile.
So the same email address or different email address?
The email address that you have on file with the brokerage.
With the brokers. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
To clarify too, because you also mentioned having a workspace. So if you do have a separate workspace, in order to take advantage of this program, you'll have to be under the Century 21 workspace if you're talking about workspaces, just to clarify.
A couple of questions ago, the agent asked for the different steps to enter and sign up, and you did post that, and the agent took it down, but nobody else got it, or I didn't anyway. Is it possible, Robert, for you to post that somewhere where we can all go to and,
Yep.
use it? Thank you.
So Dylan is currently putting all of this on the agent resource guide.
Okay.
So you'll be able to go to the agent resource guide. There will be a specific section for Zillow Showcase, and it'll have what Nate had posted earlier, which is the how to get signed up. I'll actually copy and paste that again right now. But yes, that will be on there, as well as the recordings to the trainings, which I just posted a minute ago, the Zillow training or that we had on Tuesday. And then also just some Q&As and other things. Nate actually sent me last night a really great document on step-by-steps on how to flip a listing. So if you have a listing in the MLS and then you want to flip it to a Zillow listing, it's a pretty easy process. I mean, well, it's easy once you've done it a couple times, but like me, it takes me a couple times to learn how to do things. So he gave me a really nice step-by-step guide on how to do that. So that's all going to be uploaded into the agent resource guide. There will be a page specifically, for Zillow Showcase.
Thank you.
And then I want to just to the question earlier, Mauro had asked, Zillow Showcase can be used on my website and social media, things along those lines. So I guess to one of those questions, Nate and Sarah, if they do with the Zillow media expert, they send the agent the link to upload everything to the MLS. I assume that they can also post those on social media, right?
Yes, that's correct. And for clarification, you can get the photographer to send you the media via a link as you normally do to upload to the MLS. How it will come through right now is they'll upload it to Aereo and that'll put it on Showcase, and then you'll download the media directly from Showcase. So you don't necessarily have to get the photographer to send you a link. Once they've uploaded it there, you can download it directly from there as well. But you can do either way if you're more comfortable just having the photographer send you the link with all the media, and that's your preferred method of doing it. You can, but you can also download it directly from Showcase once uploaded.
Okay, perfect.
And then you can use it. You can use all those photos for your social media, because that's between you guys and the photographer at that point. How you want to use that media, what rights they have, and what you guys can do with it.
Perfect. Alma, you and I, Alma, same page. Okay. So I had just posted that sheet right before your question in the chat box. There should be a PDF. So look at that. Great. Well, I don't know if you and I are thinking alike, you should be concerned. But I just posted that in the chat box. There's a PDF. Our marketing team, Bria, just put together just a quick template that you can utilize in your listing presentations to showcase. I didn't do that on purpose. To showcase the value of Zillow Showcase. And so when you're going on your listing presentations, you can use that page and say, hey, I'm also going to put your listing on Zillow Showcase, and here's what that means. And again, that's just a you can use that one that I put in there because it's not customized to anybody. But if you want it customized or altered or anything like that, just submit a request with our marketing team through the agent resource guide. You can submit a marketing request and they can customize it or alter it or whatever you want. But there's at least a flyer that you can use. And
thank you.
You're welcome. And what I would recommend is, even though this doesn't start till you don't get the discount until the 17th. That's only 10 days. And very rarely do we have listings that are ready to go the next day. So, I would start using this on your listing presentations immediately, and then just say, look, this is what we're going to do. And on November 17th, that's when we're going to, post it on there and things like that. So take these out on your listing presentations now. I mean, whatever it may be. It also, not only does it help the seller just because of the exposure, but it proves to them that you've got a little skin in the game. I'm paying this out of my own pocket to do that, and so that way they know that you're also investing in this a little bit as well.
I was going to ask a question, Robert.
Go ahead.
Does Zillow have like a demonstration that we can look at for the photography and what we would get from the photographer?
I'll let Nate and Sarah answer that one. I mean, I imagine if you just went to Zillow.com and selected a Zillow showcase listing, that would
Okay.
probably give you an example.
Okay.
Nate
Yeah.
and Sarah, any
And
thoughts on
there's
that?
definitely resources on the Zillow Showcase page. When you log in with your Zillow profile and go to the Zillow Showcase, there's a lot of resources that demonstrate what the photography looks like in Zillow Showcase. This is a demo. Oh yeah, Sarah just posted one as well. That I was about to post. So that's a demo listing that is owned by Zillow that they use to show how Showcase comes across. So you can use that and also to show your agents and then also to show your clients of what the Showcase listing actually looks like in real life.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hey, so Nate, there's no, from what I'm understanding, there are no Zillow photographers in San Luis Obispo County. Can you confirm that?
I will have to look to see if there's exactly if you go to showcase a listing and click on when you add media, if ZMX doesn't show up there, then that's an easy way for you to see that ZMX does not exist in that area. But I'll find the link that has all of the areas and I'll send it over to Robert as well. We have a list of actual area by area that they exist in, and I'll send it over to Robert so you guys can have that.
Okay, but say that again. You go to showcase a listing and you search for what?
Oh, so when you are in the process of showcasing a listing, when you click the Get Media button, it'll automatically populate the different photography options, whether it be ZMX, Showcase Select, or invite your own photographer. If ZMX doesn't populate there, that tells you that ZMX doesn't exist in that area.
I will tell you
Okay,
too, one of
thank
the
you.
nice things about the platform is you are actually able to click into the media tab prior to using a showcase credit. So if you're in one of those areas and you have a question as to whether or not you're going to have a photographer available, you can go into showcase, add that listing into showcase before you hit like that you're using a showcase credit. If you just want to see, you can go to the media tab and click on the Get Media tab so you can see the media options to see if something's available. You will still want to not like order the media at that time. You'll want to go back and like click that you're going to showcase once you confirm that someone is there, but that is a way to kind of get a sneak peek into what photographers are available in your market.
Hey guys, we have a quick question. If we onboard one of our photographers, is there a fee for our photographer to be onboarded with you guys?
No.
Zillow? No? Okay, and there's no. Okay, that was our
when
question.
you send them the invite link to that listing,
Yes.
and when you're having them set up their Aerial Light account, Aerial Light is free, and there's no fee to them to be onboarded.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
And you can use Zillow Showcase even when not being part of the Agent X program.
Yes.
Or-
Yeah. So the Agent X program is just, we included that as part of it, but you don't have to be involved in Agent X. This is for the whole, Zillow Showcase is for the whole company. Agent X is just something separate.
And then when you join the Agent X, this is included, the 200 Showcase.
Six. You get six. It includes 6 Zillow Showcase listings
Without the photographer, correct?
without the photographer. Correct. Just for the $200. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then in that Agent X program, if you want to do more than 6, you can. You just pay it separately. So if you have 8 listings, Agent X will cover you for 6, and the other 2 you just pay. You just do it separately. But yeah, this is for everybody, whether you're involved in that program or not. Yes, if you don't have any listings now, I would still create an account. Thank you, Nate. One of the reasons we're doing this now, even though this doesn't launch until November 17th, is a couple reasons. One, it allows you to start using this on listing presentations to get listings. 2, it allows you to set up your account. So that way, when you do have listings, and Trina, for someone like you, you're going to have listings because that's you get listings. So you set up your account now. That way, when you have that listing, it's like, boom, I'm already ready. The third thing is that if you do want to use your photographer, have them get on, I forget the name, whatever it is. So that way, when you do have a Zillow Showcase listing, they've already set up an account area. There you go. Thank you. And so now you've got, I mean, essentially 2 weeks to have your account set up, to have your photographer's account set up if you want to use them, to go through the training so you understand how it works, to put this in your listing presentation package. So that way on the 17th, it's like, man, just plug and play. But yeah, set up your accounts now for sure.
Robert,
Yeah.
once we put our listings in the program, and can we modify the listing, or is it uploaded from the MLS and we can't touch it? The reason I'm asking is because on the MLS, obviously, we can't advertise any commission that's paid out to the buyer's agent, and I'm wondering if we can advertise it on Zillow.
Nate, Sarah, any thoughts on that?
Sorry, can you repeat the question for me?
So the first part is yes, you can modify your listing. That part is yes. And I think actually you have to, right? It doesn't sync directly to the MLS. Nate, Sarah, is that right?
The information of the listing syncs. You need the MLS information and will sync to Zillow. But if you made changes to the media on the MLS, that is what will not sync to Zillow. Then you need to go to Zillow Showcase specifically for a showcase listing. If you make changes on the MLS to the media for a listing that you have showcased, then you'll need to go into Showcase and make those changes inside of Showcase as well. But if you just change information in the MLS, that will sync across to Zillow. Does that answer your question?
No, my question was, once the MLS is uploaded or transferred from the MLS to Zillow Showcase, can I actually go into Showcase and advertise if there's the amount of the compensation, if there's any compensation, and then the amount of it paid to the buyer's agent without being, without any penalty?
That's all MLS information. And how that syndicates across to Zillow, I think is just subject to what your MLS laws and guidelines are. It's not. Are you just talking about putting it in the description?
We're not allowed to put it on the MLS, but my question is, once
I see.
once the listing is uploaded from the MLS to Zillow Showcase, can I go into Showcase and modify it and actually list there that yes, the seller is paying compensation and this is the amount of it? It's not something that I could do on the MLS, but I'm wondering if it is something that I could do on the Zillow Showcase.
I don't have the answer to that question, and I would probably.
I can answer that. You wouldn't be able to. So really, in looking, Showcase mostly is going to house your media. So when you're actually in the Showcase platform, this will all make a little bit more sense. But you're mostly just putting the media component. So all wording, description stuff, all that feeds in. So there's nowhere where you're going to be able to add any verbiage. The only place you could add it on is a picture. But to answer your question, even if there were a place for verbiage, Zillow would say that no, because that is coming down from higher up, that no, we're not able to have that on the listing. But again, Showcase, the platform where you're building everything out for Showcase, is just more of a media component to click it over to be a Showcase listing. So it's not really a place to edit things like that on.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for Nate. It shows Zillow Workspace is not Zillow Showcase, right? The website?
Yeah, you're right. It's confusing now.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're asking.
Yes.
If you go to Zillow Showcase now, it's going to say Workspace, and yes, Workspace is what we have now labeled.
Is the correct one.
Is the
Yes.
correct one, yes.
So when we put it, key in the listings, just leave it there and I put the vendor like photographer in, and then just wait. And then when our company linked with the Zillow Showcase and just order it, is that what it's supposed to be?
You
So,
should be able,
yes.
yeah, you should be able to.
Let's say 17th, we're going to link, and I'm going to just click order the showcase and then everything in. Am I going to get a link that I should send it to my photographer?
Yes, when you order the showcase media inside of the showcase platform,
Yes.
you will, if you have your own photographer, you'll click on the button in the media that says select use my own photographer. Then you'll enter in their information and click send, and it will send them an invite link to that specific listing. If they already have their account set up, if not, they'll set up their account and then they'll have the invite link to that specific listing.
Okay. And also I set up a photographer because I use the same photographer. Can I put his name in? Because I tried, if I put listing in, it's going to be repeatedly ask my photographer every single listing. I need to key in his information. Is it
Yes.
what it is? Every single time I have to put in photograph information.
Yes, you'll have to put his email in for every listing because the invite links are unique to that listing. So when you're putting his information in, it's linking him specifically to that listing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Can our photographer like be on the list of available photographers through the media program?
They can. That's something that photographers pay for. So if that's an option that they want to explore, to be listed on there, they can absolutely do that.
I think as an agent, I can explain this clearly because the Matterport Zillow use is different with our CRML use. So your photographer knows that. If you say, hey, I want a 3D tour, basically our photographer will shoot a CRML form. But if you tell your photographer, say, I don't want CRML, I want a Zillow 3D form, and they know what it is. It's different. It's like Apple different with IBM. Am I clear? Ms. Abara?
Oh, I don't know the difference between a CRML form. I mean,
Oh, you do not need to know. It's just like the plug is different with Apple, plug is different with IBM. It's just a different form the photographer use.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So when you say, oh, I shoot a CRML Matterport, and you sync, you link, you put a CRML, but Zillow will not show it.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
There you go. All right. What other questions do we have about this? Well, like I said, we're gonna put it. Go ahead, Grace.
No, we cannot wait. Let's start.
Yeah, I know. I got it. Okay, so we'll hang around for a few more minutes if anyone has any other questions. We will, like I said, probably next week we will have a page on the agent resource guide. Are clients able to see the activity of a Zillow showcase listing? The answer is yes. Nate, Sarah, I'll let you kind of describe how that works.
So basically on the showcase listing inside of the workspace, it's a great touch point for you guys to be able to share and talk with your clients. So when you're in the workspace, you can click on the performance tab and that'll show you how your listing is performing specifically against other listings of similar type inside of that marketplace. And it's a great place for you to be able to download that performance data and then share it with them.
And yeah, it will show. So I don't know if you're familiar. I hope everyone on here is familiar with Golden Ruler, which is the Century 21 page that shows how many views your property has gotten online. It's essentially that. but specific for Zillow Showcase. So it'll show how many clicks, how many saves, how many shares, what area people are clicking on from the most, as far as what cities and things along those lines. So, I mean, it looks exactly like Golden Ruler, just specific for Zillow Showcase. So yeah, you will be able to do that with your listings. Which again then goes to, and I say this the same thing about Golden Ruler, just from a sales tactic now, like moving away from question, sales tactic. Imagine you go on, you do a Zillow Showcase listing. What I would do is make sure you download, before that listing closes, download that report that shows it, because then on your next listing presentation, you can provide that report to the seller to say, Mr. Seller, so I'm going to do Zillow Showcase on your listing. I actually did it on the last listing, and these were the numbers we got from our listing on Zillow Showcase that sold at whatever, right? So now you've got this actual report showing the extra marketing and stuff that you're going to do for their listing. As if I'm a seller, I'm looking at that going, no one else is providing me this form, this report, so I make sure that if you use Zillow Showcase, you download that report before it closes, so you can then use that, or use it as prospecting. Because I say this with Golden Ruler too. Imagine that you have a report that says your listing had 750 shares on it, 2,000 views. Imagine now going around the neighborhood after you sold that listing, said, Mr. and Mrs. Neighbor, I just sold the property at 123 Main Street. Here's a report that shows just on my Zillow Showcase marketing, it got 2,000 views, 750 likes, 600 shares. That's how aggressive people are looking to purchase in this area right now. So who do you know that's thinking about selling? So yes, that report not only will show the numbers just so you have it, but you should be able to, I would use that report on listing presentations, prospecting, the whole thing, just like I suggest you do on Golden Ruler. So just another, value add to show your sellers and other marketing you can do in the area.
And 2 months ago, I lost the one listing just because the other agent has a Zillow Showcase. And my question to the seller is, what is that? And then he hired her.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, it makes a difference. I mean, this is kind of what I said on Tuesday and Thursday. One of the things in real estate that we have to accept, and most people have accepted this, but I still get, when we announced this, there were still a couple agents going, well, why don't we ask? I was like, stop. Okay. Zillow's big. They're massive. They have all these great things, and every consumer knows Zillow. So when you can then say, yeah, Zillow, and they go, yeah, that's where everyone goes to search. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm going to get your listing premier access on the biggest web portal for real estate searches. Yeah, that's going to help you. And that's why I keep saying, I said this on Tuesday and Thursday. Yes, this is a great tool for marketing. Yes, it's a great tool that maybe you can capture some leads, but I think our mentality has to be, this is a great tool to generate more listings. And putting this in your listing presentation package and showing that to your sellers that this is what they're going to get, that flyer that Bree put together, I put it in the chat box. I think, to Grace's point, that's a prime example of this is going to help us generate more listings. Yes, it'll sell faster and all those things, which is great, but that's, I think, the initial thing to look at with this.
I have a question
Too
for
often in the
you.
past, we've fought against Zillow as, opposite us. I think, if you can't beat them, join them. And
Yes.
that's the kind of attitude we need to go with.
Yes.
And direct that to the client.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exactly it, Kevin. You're right. Like, it is like, let's just accept it for what it is. And now they've got these really great tools that are to benefit real estate agents. I mean, Zillow, because one of the fights all the time with Zillow was, well, if I put my listing on there and somebody clicks contact agent, it goes to a Zillow Premier agent. That is correct. Well, guess what? On Showcase, you're branded. It's your information. So that argument, that fight that we've had, Zillow's like, okay, hey, here you go. Now you're the branded agent. And we're going to benefit you. We're going to email all the buyers that are searching in this area for you, branded towards you. I mean, like, it's like, okay, this is like a legit partnership. And that's why, we see the value in this. Like, hey, and we the option, just so you know, even from the company standpoint, because there's an option where on all the listings, instead of having the listing agent promoted, you can have the company number and just say, oh, everything can come to the company. And we were like, well, that's stupid. The listings are hard to get. The listing agent should get all the recognition and get all whatever calls and everything. So it's like, no, like they're helping push it out. We are helping push it out. It's a great partnership. And so that is, I think it's going to be a win for everybody, for sure. Tess, did you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question. Okay, so because I called Dylan yesterday because I wanted to join in. What is the turnaround time? I believe it doesn't really start on the 17th. My first question would be, why is it the 17th? Second question would be, what is the turnaround time once you submit the file?
So the reason for the 17th, we initially were going to launch this on November 1st, but it was just too big of a rush. We hadn't done any training classes. We hadn't done any of the stuff we did this week. And we didn't want absolute chaos on November 1st of people trying to upload things, not knowing what to do, trying to get their photographers. So we just, November 17th, it was like mid-November. It's a Monday. So it's like, that's kind of how we came up with November 17th as the day.
Got it.
In terms of the turnaround time, I mean, if you take a listing and upload it on Zillow Showcase, and Nate and Sarah can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's on Zillow Showcase immediately. Like that's the deal. If it's the turnaround time, if you want to use the Zillow media experts to do the photography, Nate and Sarah, I think it's typically like 48 hours, right?
Yeah. So when you click showcase a listing, that creates the workflow to create the showcase. And from there, it's somewhat user dependent on the speed. If you use ZMX, the Zillow Media Photographers, they're contractually required to go out and be able to shoot the media within 24 hours. And then once they upload the media back to Zillow Showcase, it takes on average 72 hours for it to process and then be ready to be showcased. So that's your turnaround time of just max efficiency would be about 4 days at that point from ordering the photography inside of Showcase with ZMX to it turning around, being processed, and being ready to go live as a Showcase listing. So that's about your turnaround time that you're looking at from the whole process. If you're on it all the way through and the photographer is on it all the way through. If you're using your own photographer, then that's on you guys to make sure that they're going out there and capturing it and uploading it as quickly as you need them to. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and very good. Thank you very much. So my understanding is to speed it up like pretty quickly because we want to turn around and move the listing right away. We gotta submit our credentials ahead of time, right? So that we're prepared so that when we hit the MLS, it automatically goes into within 48 hours. Is that true?
When you hit go live on the MLS, if you've already gone into Showcase and done all the process so that the listing is ready to be showcased, then it'll have it on its little tracker in the overview of that listing. When it says it's ready, when you hit go live on the MLS, it will syndicate immediately with it, same as any other listing that you've done before.
I see. Okay. That's good.
But you just need to make sure that you have done the front work to actually make sure everything is in place for it to be showcased. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we have to put in the credentials, our pictures, our information, our DRE number and all the good stuff, and then submit it ready for the 17th, right? So far?
Yes. Yeah. So you would still preload a listing the same way as you always do on the MLS. And then in order for it to be showcased, you have to just make sure that you've gone through the showcase process. So then you're both MLS and showcase poised, ready to go. So when you hit go live, it syndicates and everything goes live at the same time.
Okay, perfect. So even okay, I have one more question on this regarding the photography. What if the property is vacant, right? And you're doing a virtual picture. Would that work at all for you guys?
Can you help me
how, like,
understand what you mean by
when
virtual?
the property is vacant and you want to kind of give an idea, because I do this with some of the listings that I have that it's vacant. So
Yep.
I pay for a virtual
Staging?
picture. So at least it'll give an idea of what the property would look like. Would that work to something like that or no?
So you're asking if the property is vacant and unstaged, does Zillow does have virtual staging as a feature
Oh.
with the photography that you can add on. So you add on the virtual staging, and then when you do showcase it and it is live on there, then it has the virtual staging that the buyer that's looking at the listing can toggle on and off and see what the space looks like with a couple of different.
I see. So would that be the same amount paid also, which is the 245, if we were to use the same photographer?
Now, Sarah, you can back me up on this, but I think the virtual staging is an add-on to the base essentials price of 245.
Yeah, so
Oh.
you have a kind of a few different options here. So it sounds like kind of your question to begin with was if you like bought virtual stage photos. Yes, you can add those into Showcase. You're welcome to have virtual stagings. Just note that like if you're doing the 3D tour is required, so that obviously wouldn't have the virtual staging, but you
Right.
can use virtual staging photos. Two things to like what Nate was saying is if you're using Zillow Media Experts, you have the option to purchase virtual staging as an add-on and have all of the rooms or whichever ones you choose virtually staged. But we also now offer a free feature on a live showcase listing where within the featured room sections, we have functionality for prospect buyers to be able to add virtual staging to those photos. So if it is a vacant home, the ones that are selected within the virtual or within the selected rooms, those you can have the virtual staging tool live on it. So it's really a matter of like how much virtual staging you actually need in
Right.
the property.
Yeah. I get
What's
it.
the fee for the virtual staging?
That's an add-on within Zillow Media Experts, and I think it's like per room, you can pay for it per room. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I can add the link in for Zillow Media Experts if you guys.
So that is extra of the 245, or is it like, I mean,
Yes.
what's the point of
Yeah,
taking?
so the 245 covers the photos and it's an unlimited amount of photos, the 3D tour and the virtual tour. That's what the 245 covers, which is the minimum requirement for the property to be on Showcase. If you want, now there are, if you want that, if you want them to do drone, you could do that, but that's an add-on. If you want them to do the virtual staging, you can do that. That's an add-on. As far as what the cost of it is sometimes you don't really know until, because it depends on the size of the property, location, things like that. So it's not like a universal price. But yeah, but that's what the 245 covers. So if you want to use your own photographer and they're going to do those three things, which is the photos, the 3D and the virtual, but they're also going to do drone and all these other things, that's fine. That can all be uploaded as part of your media package to your Zillow showcase listing.
So when you say 3D tour, is that like Matterport?
Yes, but it can't be Matterport. So
Okay.
it's like Matterport, but it can't be from Matterport. So there are different, and most photographers, professional photographers, have the equipment to do a 3D tour. But yes, it's like Matterport, but it can't be from Matterport.
I will
And
say
then
a nice thing about the Zillow 3D tour is it pairs with the interactive floor plan. So when someone is using the interactive floor plan, they're using the 3D tour, they match up to each other to show you exactly where you're looking in that home. So it's a really kind of advanced version of Matterport that goes really well with the interactive floor plan. So like that listing that I put in, that's a sample listing, that's a great way to kind of see how it looks. But sorry, you were about to ask another question.
what's the difference between a 3D tour and a virtual tour?
They're the same. It's just Zillow 3D tour is like the branding of the Zillow one. So it's a walkthrough of the
Like
home
a
similar to what
virtual tour
Matterport
is like you walking around, like a video of you walking around the house. The 3D tour is where they can actually like move from room to room type of a thing.
Okay. And both of those are included in the 245.
Correct.
And Sarah, what if the old listings we want to put it on?
So if you have a listing that's existing and you didn't have the 3D tour, is that what you're asking?
No, how can we put it back to the showcase too? Let's say I have a listing is coming on the Sunday, it's already on, so showcase does not start till 17th. So the 17th, can I add those in?
Yeah, as long as you have all the media.
Yes, we do. I do.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Sarah, I got one more question for you too. If we have a photographer, we have an affiliate photographer for our company up in San Luis Obispo County. How does he get on board with figuring out what he needs to do with your parameters?
Yeah, I can add the Photography Resource Center in the chat. Again, I added it a little bit ago, but I'll add it again. So this is going to be a website that explains exactly what is required for Showcase, the equipment, how to do it, where you need to get logged in. It even has discount codes for cameras. So that is going to be the best resource to share with a photographer if you have questions and you want to share that with them so they can see what's required.
Fantastic.
Nate, I'll let you start taking back over.
One quick question, Nate and Sarah. Typically for Zillow Showcase, and tell me if and I might be wrong on this, there's only allowed like 2 or 3% of listings in an area are allowed to be showcased, right?
It's, I think 10% of listings in an area are allowed to be showcased.
Okay.
And once you
And
hit
so-
that 10%, then it's cut off.
Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily listings themselves, it's people allowed to, so agents allowed to. So you guys won't actually hit a limit. Any of you guys' listings you guys can showcase, but once that 10% limit of people who have purchased that the ability to do so in showcase listings is hit, then no other agents will be able to come in and showcase listings. But those that already have that contract in the deal will still be able to.
So I asked that because one of the questions in the chat, and that's what I wanted to verify, like, is this like a trend with other brokerages? It's just to know that only 10% of listings are allowed to be on Showcase. So it's not like, this is something where, okay, well, all of a sudden everyone's going to be doing Showcase. Like, no, there's only 10% in an area that's allowed to be showcased. We have a contract that all of our listings can be showcased. So regardless of what the parameters are in the area, but everyone else, it's a max of 10%. So you do have that advantage of it really is going to stand out amongst the rest of the crowd because there is a cap in each area on how much is allowed to be on Zillow Showcase.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a question for you and Nate, I guess. First off, I think it's a great program. Looks great. Can't wait to start using it. So that's all awesome. The question is this. So in the past, and it's kind of leading off of what Kevin talked about with Zillow, it was great. My wife was in, she was a premier agent. All this stuff was wonderful. And then all of a sudden, premier agents from Zillow started calling the leads that were our own databases, right? And so that caused a lot of people to go away from Zillow as an agent, right? So my question is this. Obviously, they're grabbing the stuff off the MLS. That's great. But when they're connected into Follow Up Boss and then our actual contact information, how are our clients protected and staying with us and not going to be sent off to premier agents just calling them randomly?
Well, that's part of the contract is that your clients are your clients. So part of Zillow Showcase as well is your leads are your leads, right? They're not leads that then also get sent out to premier agents. That's part of the deal of Showcase is that anyone who clicks contact agent or anything like that goes to you. It does not go to then a premier agent. As far as the Follow-Up Boss goes, it's the same thing that even if the lead came from Zillow, as long as it's your lead, then yes, you can. They're not going to call it. They're not going to do anything. Now they can do some research, right? Because it is a Zillow lead, so they can, like, okay, well, how many buyer leads are clicking for this particular area? right? Or things along those lines, but it's not necessarily calling your lead. It is using it for market research though.
Right.
So
and the caveat with that is if your client clicks on contact an agent that's on Zillow, then that does get sent out to the Zillow Premier agent. So it is also important for you guys to maintain that relationship and maintain that rapport with your clients. And obviously, you have to sign a contract with them before you can show any houses with them these days. So it's important to make sure that you guys are maintaining that relationship as well. But Zillow is not. They're not taking your information off Follow Up Boss and sending it out to other agents or anything like that. So your leads are protected in that way.
Right.
And one thing to note on that as well, and I only know because this question's come up a number of times recently with the Follow Up Boss Zillow thing. One of the things that is kind of the long-term idea is that if you have mutual clients from Zillow and Follow Up Boss, the way that the updated terms are of shared data with Zillow and Follow Up Boss is that it's going to help Zillow enhance products like Zillow Flex, Showcase, Premier Agent, but you'll also have more visibility of what your leads are viewing. So ideally, in the long run, the plan would be like if you have a mutual lead in your Follow Up Boss and Zillow, you might be able to see in your Follow Up Boss, hey, by the way, Robert's been searching for a lot of properties in Rancho Cucamonga on Zillow. So it might actually enhance your ability to contact clients that are doing a lot of work. That's kind of how this is seen as a future thing between Zillow and Follow Up Boss. Is they're not going to take leads that are yours. It's actually going to be, but there will be data. Again, they're going to use the data research of what are these leads doing. So they have, again, research and data to use for other products, but you also be able to have some more information on your leads in your Follow Up Boss. And then always just think about this. I mean, Zillow's number one client is real estate agents. That's how they make their money. So there's no incentive to upset real estate agents. And certainly if they start calling your leads from Follow Up Boss, that will not go well. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
certainly
100%
not
correct.
a good business practice.
Right. I just want to make sure that we're not syncing up our database and then also we just lost 1,000 of our leads.
Yeah,
We already had.
No, we went through this when Zillow and when Zillow bought Follow Up Boss, we went through this like fine tooth comb, like, okay, let's make sure, like, because we know these questions are going to come up. And, anyone who knows anything about our company, there is no one more analytical than Keith Thompson. And so Keith probably read that contract. I mean, that's probably how he went to bed at night, just getting to read that contract, and probably had highlighters and pens, even doodles. I mean, he probably went through it intensely. And that's kind of what he came up with, because I know I didn't read it. I know that. I'm more the give me the cliff notes so I know what I'm talking about, but I don't need to know all the dirty stuff. So we went through that a number of times, and so that's kind of how that's going to work. So ultimately, it will be to enhance your database, not to take away from it.
Perfect. Thanks. That's it. You answered my question.
Good stuff. All right. Any last questions as we wrap up here? All right. If you have any additional questions, you can reach out to me. I can answer a decent number of them, so feel free to reach out to me. Once we have all of the frequently asked questions and all the other links to the agent resource guide, we will also blast that out to everyone so they know how to get everything set up, and they have all those links. I'm sure Dylan will have that up probably some point next week, if it's not already ready. So we'll make sure to get that out. I did put the full recording of the training class with all the slides and everything in the chat box, but we'll also email that out as well. So if you have any additional questions, just let me know. If I don't know the answer, up to this point, I still have Nate and Sarah's contact information. I don't know for how long, but to this point, I still have it. So I'm more than happy to reach out to them to get whatever questions I don't know the answer to. Oh, good stuff.
Outstanding.
All right,
Thank
Nate,
you.
Sarah, it's been a lot this week, but a lot of great things. So thank you. A million times over. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the agents who are asking good questions, because if you're asking questions, it means you're interested. And I think this is a great product, and I hope everyone takes advantage of it. All right, everybody. Good stuff. That's all we got. Again, if you need anything, let us know. And other than that, let's go have a great rest of our Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
guys. Bye.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Robert.